So, while you guys are out there sanding your 1960s Lancias and Alfa Romeos and Corvettes, I'm sanding the top of my kitchen work area here, our island in the kitchen. Turn this off. And I'm only taking the old wax off, or old oil off, I mean, the hardened oil on here, and using I tried using 180, but it blocks up very quickly from the hardened oil that's here, so I'm going to go to 120 first, and I'll finish then with 180. It's very smooth. It feels almost like metal. And this is beach. It's we built this. Karen and I built this ourselves. We built it 10 years ago. It's held up very well. We have a stove. We have a 90 centimeter oven on this side here, and storage over there, and the cooking top there. Karen has cleaned that whole area up in there. The baffles, as I said, are clean down there, so we'll just have to polish off that back that one sheet of metal over on the other side there. This is done, and then when I'm done with this, we'll oil it again. I'm going to take this gas stove apart because what's the largest burner here, really the flame is much too small, and I'm going to have to adjust it, probably clean the jets. I haven't done that in years, so it's kind of hard to take this thing apart. It's all got tiny screws, and but it can be taken all apart, and all the parts are available. I think, however, I just need to clean the jets and adjust the air to fuel ratio. So this is what I'm using, is a Festool sander here. Gets the job done. It's it's quite powerful. And I've got it connected up to our to our regular house vacuum, because I don't want to cover the kitchen in. Actually, I'm going to take this refuse garbage can out here. Then I can sand all the way to the edge there. Clean that out. Okay, I'll just start this off, and then I'll shut the camera off, because you don't need to watch me sanding this. Most of you guys know about a lot more about sanding than I do. So what I'm going to do now is wipe it all down with a damp cloth, let it dry, and then I'll go over it again with 220. That was 180, 120, and then I'll go over it with 180. I won't go to 220. It's not. It's really not worth it. It's so smooth with. I may touch up a little of the. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a few of these areas again here. But all in all, it's pretty good. Okay, now around in this little area here, I can't go in with the machine, of course. I have a smaller machine I could use there, but I don't need it. I was going to use sanding blocks. I was going to use these sponge blocks, but then I realized that it's really the perfect place to use steel wool. So I'm using steel wool around the edges of everything here, basically, where I can't go with the sander. After you use steel wool like this, it's good. It's advisable to vacuum everything then very well, or yes, vacuum is probably the best, because it leaves little bits of the steel, the thin steel wire-like stuff. That's a place I can do with the machine a little more. So I will vacuum this now. These places that I did with the steel wool. Oh, here's a place I missed altogether between the faucet and this control here. So today's the 16th of November 2016, and we got a new microwave. We bought it. It's a commercial kind of thing, very simple, nothing but a little timer and power control, and came and unpacked it and dragged the thing up the stairs. They're quite heavy, and got it in place, and it worked. It did everything but heat. The plate turned inside, and other than that, it did. The light came on, yes, and that was all. So we had to return it, but we got a new one, and it works fine. The reason I actually brought you here today is into the kitchen is to show you that we finished resurfacing the top of our island here, our work island. We're very pleased with the results. Sanded it with 120 and then with 180. Oiled it twice with linseed, special linseed hard oil that's made for kitchen work areas where food will come into contact with it. And yeah, it really came out as well as we hoped it would. Looks brand new, basically. And we have succeeded in cleaning the vent hood completely. As you can see, I think it looks pretty darn good. In fact, it looks brand new too. Karen spent hours and hours standing, bending over up in there cleaning it all out, and it gets greasy, of course, even though we don't, as I said, we don't make 150 pounds of French fries a day, but still it gets greasy, and it had to be cleaned out. And she polished the edge here. This stainless steel is really hard to get polished without smeary streaks, but she got it really very nice. We decided to do all of this. I'm going to be polishing my copper pots. We collect copper, and they need work before we hang them up again. We've got a whole bunch up there too. If I'm really, well, I don't know, I probably won't polish all of those now. We use them all, or almost all of them. And there you are. So the kitchen is pretty cleaned up, and the reason we wanted to get it done now is we have decided to invite the natives in for Thanksgiving. We're going to celebrate early this year. We're going to celebrate this coming Saturday because Karen and I have a wedding anniversary the week after, and we want to have a nice weekend by ourselves. So there you are. That's where we are at the moment, and I wanted to show you that we did get this all cleaned up and that it does look pretty good. There's one other thing I want to show you. We've gone into pie baking, and this is our most recent creation. My mom was a pie baker. Like many kids, I love to watch her making pies and baking them in the kitchen at home. And I quickly began making my own pies. And this is an apple pie made from our apples, our busk-up apples from the tree out and back. And we spent some time decorating it last night and baked it. And I'll cut it this afternoon to have with coffee when Karen gets home. I think it looks pretty nice. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to make myself an espresso and have that before I go up and work on the computer a little bit. Then I need to come back down here. I have to polish those copper pots. And I have to vacuum the floor so that Karen can get down on her hands and knees and scrub it. It's unfortunately the only way to get it really clean. And I have to take up these bar stools and table and clean the bases of them. There's a lot to do in a big house like this. When you get to be my age, but that's why people downsize, and we just don't downsize. We've decided to carry on as well as we can until we absolutely can't anymore. And then we'll let happen whatever happens. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Gabbing on like this isn't going to get me done, so better take care of some of the things that need to be done. Got a lot of cooking to do in the next few days. We're going to do the whole circus, turkey and dressing and mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes and cranberries and on and on. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.